Hey guys, I'm Simulator Tech, and today I'm building the Jris80, an aluminum TKL kit that starts at $165, though if you want a specific configuration, obviously it's going to be a bit more than that. Please keep in mind that I am an affiliate with mykeyclub, so my opinions are likely going to be somewhat biased, but I will do my best to speak as objectively as possible. Most of the parts came in this cute little carrying case that feels pretty high quality. In the carrying case, we have our hot swap PCB. Mine is non-flex cut and it looks kinda cool. Most of the sockets are south facing, with a few facing other directions around the enter key and bottom row. The PCB has great layout support for being hot swap, so that's pretty cool. Next up we have a bag of foams. Here we have some plate foam, PE foam, and a thin layer of case foam. There's less than some other kits, but it's enough to get a foamy sound signature. I was sent 2 plates, including an aluminum one which has some flex cuts which I'm not a huge fan of, and a polycarbonate one which has no flex cuts. I'm really glad there's no flex cuts on the polycarb one since it's already so flexible that it really wouldn't help at all. In a separate box we have some other stuff. Here are silicone column style gaskets which actually mount to the PCB rather than the plate, which allows for plateless configurations. There's also a bag with some other parts like feet, stab o-rings, and pads for the battery compartment. In the next section of the box we have a coiled braided cable which has a really long coil. There's also a keycap and switch puller. mykeyclub sent over an extra alternative PVD chroma triangle badge that attaches to the back of the case magnetically. This is the pyramid style one which looks really cool. With the Jris80 kit comes a PVD artisan keycap, and mine is this nice gold one. I think it's a really nice touch for a keyboard that's not super expensive. Finally, they include an aluminum screwdriver with magnetic interchangeable bits, which really surprised me. I wouldn't have expected such a nice screwdriver to come with a board at this price point, so that's a nice little bonus. Alright, enough waiting. Here is the case. I have the E-white case and the finish is smooth to the touch and there's no flaws that I can see. My top piece is win keyless, which I think looks great. Inside the case there's a brass weight surrounding a triangular section that has Jris80 engraved in it, and to be honest it looks very premium, much like something I would expect from a keyboard twice the price. On the right side of the top case there's a chroma accent next to an RGB accent. It's not my favorite, but I think it looks pretty decent. My favorite part of the board is the back side. I received a PVD chroma weight with a really pretty triangular badge in the middle. When I first saw the renders of this board, I didn't think the back would look very good, but after seeing it with my own eyes, I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. The case is a standard 2-piece design with no visible seam from the side. The top and bottom cases are held together with the same ball catch system as the Jris75, which makes disassembly and reassembly really easy. There's also these columns that guide the top and bottom together. What's cool is that you can order a second top case to see which you prefer. mykeyclub sent me a lilac wooden key top case, which I think will match my keycaps really well. The accent on this one is gold, which looks really good as well. Unfortunately, this keyboard does not come with stabs, so I'm using some Wuche screw-ins I had laying around, and an Acco stab for the spacebar. I have the gaskets in the medium configuration with one on each side of the tabs, but I have the tab under the spacebar in the soft configuration, so it hopefully doesn't affect the spacebar sound too much. I'll be building both configurations of this board without any foams, with one using the aluminum plate and the other using a polycarbonate plate. For switches, I'm using some stock Vertex V1 switches which are nice and smooth. Finally, for the keycaps, I'm using Polycarb's hipyo designed by Hipyo Tech himself. Alright, let's hear how they sound. For having no foam, this board sounds pretty dang good, especially with the polycarb plate. The configuration with the aluminum plate sounded a bit hollow, so I think it would improve with the thin case foam. But the configuration with the polycarb plate actually sounds really good without any foam. In both, the alpha sounded pretty good, but the spacebar sounds a little thuddy, which is likely a result of the thicker PBT spacebar. It could also be improved with a long pull switch. In terms of feel, this board is not the softest, but it's not stiff at all. With the aluminum plate, it naturally feels a bit stiffer, but there is some gasket compression which contributes to less harshness. With the polycarb plate, it's definitely softer. The gasket compression is the same, but there's more flex towards the middle of the assembly. Overall, I think this board is great for someone who wants a simple yet premium feeling build process. The price is about the same as the Zoom TKL and the QK80, and I think it beats the Zoom TKL in terms of sound and overall quality, especially when you consider that the Zoom TKL doesn't sound the best without foam. I can't say the same about the QK80 since I haven't had a chance to try one, but from the reviews I've watched, the Jris80 and the QK80 definitely compete, especially considering their starting prices are like basically the same. Keep in mind my opinions are entirely subjective, but I prefer the accent on the side from the Jris80 over that of the QK80. I can tell this board took inspiration with the QK80 with the magnetic badge on the back, but since I haven't tried the QK80 in person, I can't really say which I prefer. One main criticism I have for this board is that it doesn't come with stabs, but I'm hoping they do something like they did with the MKC75, where they didn't initially mean to include stabs, but they ended up including them anyways. If you want more information about the Jris80, then I'll have links to mykeyclub's website in the description. And if you want to support the channel, feel free to use my affiliate link when purchasing this board. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you MKC for sending out the board, and thank you guys for watching. See you guys later. Bye!